Good morning everyone, it's me Jenny, or good afternoon by now, yep. Good afternoon everyone, it's me Jenny, and this is another Sunday crafts things that's totally not being filmed on a Wednesday right now because I'm really super behind, but I am catching up, gosh darn it. Today I'm going to be talking about not comparing yourself to other people in cosplay. This is a nut that's very difficult to crack, and frankly I don't think I've quite cracked it yet, but I feel like it's something that I need to talk about. Going to a convention is always hard because when you're going in cosplay, there's an entire level of different skill sets. And the easiest way for me to talk about this is in terms of something that I've talked about many times before, which is separating fictional universes, and therefore able to enjoy adaptations more because, for example, as the one that I usually go to, Game of Thrones, I love the books. I love the series and I view them as two separate entities with cross-hatchings. I don't view them as the ultimate version of the story. And when I don't enjoy adaptations, it's because I do view the original story or one version as higher as the ultimate version of that story. And that's very rare for me. I pride myself on the ability to view different entities as different things, even if they're based from the same source material, and the source material as an equal entity. For example, Jane Austen, I love the books. If I were to put them on a scale, the books would obviously be higher than the adaptations. That being said, I love the books, I love the adaptations, multiple adaptations, for example, Pride and Prejudice the book versus Pride and Prejudice the Jennifer L version versus Pride and Prejudice the Keira Knightley version. I view them all as separate entities, not as a continuation of the same story, so given that I can really enjoy each of them equally. The same goes for costumes. Usually, if we're talking about anime costumes, the ultimate pinnacle of that costume is a cartoon. It is impossible to bring that ultimate version of the costume into reality. So when you see someone who has spent hours and hours and hours working on a perfect duplicate of that costume, it is not perfect. There is no such thing as a perfect cosplay because the original, the ultimate version of that is the cartoon version. Therefore, there is no version of the cosplay which is the pinnacle of that cosplay. They are all equal and different entities. If someone has done a steampunk version of a costume or a really detailed, complex, beautiful version of the cosplay, or gone with very simple lines that really perfectly imitate the colour system of the original design, those are all equally good designs. Then you've also got the difference between skill sets. Some people have got a lot of time and have had a lot of training in order to do very well in costume making. Some people haven't. Some people are very talented but don't have time. Some people have a lot of time but aren't very talented. Some people are very creative and have a lot of money, and some people have no money but can work with it. You know, you've got to take into account that everyone has different levels of time, skills, training, finances, and the amount of finances they're willing to spend on cosplay. It is a hobby. So when you go to a cosplay convention or an anime convention or a sci-fi convention, you see the most amazing costumes. Not being jealous of people and not comparing your costume to another person's costume, it's a really difficult thing. I think it's a really important thing in terms of enjoyment. Similarly, and something that I need to kind of put out there, people who physically are more attractive than others is a complete and utter misnomer. But there are people out there who have the time and have the energy to physically work on their appearance. They work out, they practice a lot of makeup and a lot of like moisturising and all sorts of things, and really look after themselves to physically be the best person they can be. And there's some people who don't have the time or don't have the energy, or don't feel the need to do that, or just are naturally not born looking like an anime character, which, as I said, anime character is a cartoon. It is impossible to look exactly like a cartoon. There's some people who have time to physically work on their bodies, not just the costume. Comparing yourself to others physically is always going to be a problem. It's always going to be something that is in the back of everyone's brain. But learning to look at what you can do physically and enjoying what you have done what you've made, what you have worked on, whether it's your body or your costume or your hair or your makeup, and actually enjoying what you have done, that is the most important thing. Most of the cosplays that I am most proud of are the simplest ones, where I've gone with something simple and I've done it well. And I'm not the best cosplayer. I'm by far not the best cosplayer. I have been to 2 conventions, which was the same convention, just 2 years separate. But I really had a great time because I went there to enjoy myself and to meet friends, not to compare myself to others. And yes, there are points where you look at other people and you're like, I wish I could do that. I wish I could make that amazing Renaissance style 50-foot out dress with the wig and the makeup and the hair, and you look amazing. But appreciating that, not comparing yourself to that, is the key to really enjoying cosplay at conventions and getting to know your level of enjoyment and how you view yourself within your little community is really important. And I've rambled on for way too long, but I hope I've said something useful. I hope this has been something good for someone along the lines. Feel free to comment and do all those things, and I'll see you guys all very soon, hopefully on time next week. You never know. Anyway, see you guys very soon. Bye guys.